during one particular meditation, one voice came and said, "Nay, you have cancer." And then you just released this thought, and I said, "Okay, whatever." And then, "Hey, Neja, pay attention. You have cancer." And then I went for an exam, and it was confirmed. So I caught, because of meditation, I caught the cancer somehow in early stages, because still I had the cancer in stage 3+, very aggressive form of ductal hormonal dependent cancer with BRCA genes. And all my female ancestors already passed away for cancer.
What's up, you beautiful beasts? I'm Katie. I'm on a mission to help humans become their favorite versions of themselves and to strive for overall health by healing their relationship to food and exercise, healing their relationship to their body, and most importantly, healing their relationship to themselves, all without ever having to step on a scale. I have had the privilege to talk to all kinds of different humans who have been through a plethora of experiences just being a human and existing. I believe that every single time someone shares their story, at least one person listening will learn from it, be inspired by it, and maybe, just maybe, even change the entire direction of their life. These are the stories of humans unveiling their beautiful beast. Keep listening. This is the Unveiling the Beast podcast. Well, welcome to the Unveiling the Beast podcast. I am with Dr. Neja Zupan in Slovenia, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. And we were just talking about how exciting it is that we live in a world where we can be speaking to people on the other side of the world. So right now it's morning for me and it's evening for her. And I'm just like, this is so cool. Yeah. So can you tell the listeners and myself a little bit about who you are and why you think you are who you are?
Hello, everybody who is listening to this podcast. Thank you, Katie, for inviting me, to accepting me to this podcast. And I studied many things in natural healing, different natural healing modalities. So if I can describe this in few words, who I am, what I work is holistic health mentor, speaker, and natural healing expert. But more of what I studied is more what I have embodied in my life. So I went through many different challenges. This is on personal level. So on my health level, I was blessed with different diseases, and I outgrew every single one, even cancer, with only 5% chance to survive. And all my female ancestors passed away for the cancer. And also as business owner, I'm growing internationally, and I outgrew all limiting beliefs about being entrepreneur, being businesswoman, everything, all limiting values, identities, especially identities, because I'm originating from normal, more lower working family. So my father and my mother, they were all working in factories, and I inherited and incorporated many limiting things about this, about people who are providing for themselves and are on their own path. So I outgrew also all this. So this is what I have embodied, not just learned.
I love that you bring up the embodiment piece and the limiting belief piece, because the embodiment piece comes from us and the limiting of beliefs typically come from the outside. And so there tends to be this disconnection between mind and body. And so did you ever feel like there was a disconnection with mind and body for you?
Yes, it was huge disconnection, but not just, disconnection in the feeling or that something was just imprinted on me, but also what I brought with me from the uh, previous generations and previous lives, or from culture, from from different areas. So also from me, from past lives. So I don't want to accuse or say that everything comes just from outside, but also I came here, I know that I came here to this earth for my own lesson. So this I have learned.
What inspired you to go on this, typically people say journey, I like to say adventure, of exploring alternatives to, I want to say modern day medicine, like as far as all the things that you said you've been blessed with health wise. What inspired you to look at alternatives?
Actually, already in my childhood, I really liked to play being a medical doctor. But I was fortunate with psychologist before I entered school, that she said, actually, not that she said, she gave a diagnosis, a label to me, for me. Neja is unfortunately a child with special needs. So for 3 years, I was under different processes, that they were handling with me, how to proceed with the schooling and everything. Eventually, I went to school and I finished school, but because of everything what was going on, I was prevented to go study as for a medical doctor because of everything what I went through. But instead, this was a huge plan of our creator that actually whispered on the ear of this psychologist, you need to tell this that this person is a person with special needs. So when I entered university, I already started to study 6 different modalities in natural healing because this was my passion. I started to read my first books when I was 14. So then it was just an extension, just deepening everything. And as I was learning everything from my passion, from deeper desire, I actually figured out how to, for example, heal uncurable allergies. I had a huge, really difficult allergies. And the medical doctor said, okay, if Neja will not outgrow this through teenage years, she will get a worse a form of the disease. But when I started to study um, all these natural healing approaches, actually, I felt each year better. And that's how I went on and on and on and on, and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And everything what I have studied actually prepared me for the final process of confronting, if I may use this term, confronting the cancer.
Mm. I love what I'm hearing, and what I'm hearing is like this piece of your story as a whole is saying we are more than the labels that we're given, especially as kids. Like, for whatever reason, we have this, and I think it's getting better, but we have this urge to label children who learn differently or do anything differently as special needs or learning disorder. And it's, to me, and in my own experience with siblings having learning disabilities, it's just that we're different. It's not bad, you know? And so I think that when kids are given these labels, it could sometimes create this not enoughness, right? Inside of their minds and in their bodies. And what I'm hearing with you is like, watch me. Does that sound right?
Yes, that's correct. Watch me. That was so many times. Just watch me. But it was a lot of not being good enough.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this. Really, so much. I was struggling with this, not being accepted. Um, uh, uh, Low self-esteem. Um, being a victim. Shame of being different. This was really, really, I was dealing with this, oh, so much. Even now, I cannot say that I'm completely over, but I'm very, very on much better position than I was ever in my life.
Mm. I love that you say that too, because I don't think we're ever like completely healed, like with mental health, maybe physical ailments, but unlearning beliefs that did come from the outside. Like, we're never completely healed because we're still living and we're still having new experiences. So I love that you say, it's still there.
Yeah, from time to time it appears less and less and less and less. For example, I had quite a challenging relationship with my mother. My mother passed away for cancer when I was 25, and she was in a process of dealing with cancer for almost 2 years, so it was quite challenging. But even before, in my childhood, she was raped for 2 years, for 3 years, from her age 4 to 7 by her brother, and all these difficult emotions. She didn't know how to deal with it, but she transmitted to me. So it was quite challenging for me as a child to deal with this. So I was dealing with this difficult relationship for quite a long time. I started already with the age of 18, and it was a continuous process. But now I noticed that there is no charge anymore. I really noticed, but it was process, really profound process of letting go, of forgiving, of relearning what was going on with me in childhood. So
Yeah.
relearning.
Yeah. We have that in common as our relationships to our mothers.
Yeah.
A lot of my disordered eating patterns and disordered eating exercise patterns came from things that I learned from her by watching her and not listening, because she had the same patterns that I did. And as an adult, it's it's nice when we can look at our parents and know that it's their first time living too. And when I started thinking about it that way, that's when I've been able to like give my mom some grace, because what I did know is she did everything that she thought was right at the time. And I'm not saying that's all parents. There are some pretty crappy parents out there, but when we can look at our parents in a way, just knowing that they're also, even though they're older than us, they're also still trying to figure it out because it's their first time. Maybe second, but unconsciously first time, right? So,
Yeah. I
yeah.
usually say that unfortunately or fortunately, we were not born with manuals.
Yes.
How to use this body, how to use this mind, how to use
Mm-hmm.
emotions in our lives. So we need to learn as we go.
Mm-hmm. 100%. And then we can hope that, like, if we have children, when our children are grown ups, they can look at us and give us the same grace. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, I was wondering if you are open and willing to share and go deeper into your story with cancer.
Yes, of course. I'm over it. It's now more than 12 years ago.
Mm,
And I'm very open to answer whatever question you would like to have.
okay. Well, my first question is like, ha were there signs and symptoms that made you think something was wrong? Like that kind of were like, you were like, okay, I know something's wrong. I need to go get checked out.
Um, if I now look back, yes, there were plenty of signs. Low self-esteem, lack of energy,
Mm-hmm.
um, very difficult relationships with certain people. So a lot of guilt. Relationships. For example, I had in my own company, I had one person to whom I really I put myself below her.
Mm-hmm.
So she was really bullying me in my own company, and I was not able to say her goodbye. Yeah, so these were huge, tuck, 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 tuck.
Mm-hmm.
And I was not able to say no. I was not able to speak my mind. These were all signs. So whenever I spoke something and somebody else rejected me or made fun or bullied me, I felt a huge amount of guilt. What I messed up. So these were
Mm-hmm.
tuck, 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 tuck. But how I got actually information that I have cancer was in the in meditation. I was practicing already 25 years, for 25 years, meditation, then different techniques of different modalities of natural healing. I already worked in my company. So before I was professor at the university and I left the position. So I really took care for my food, my exercising, feeling well. in what I'm doing, so nothing influenced. But during one particular meditation, one voice came and said, "No, you have cancer." And then you just release this thought, and I said, "Okay, whatever." And then, "Hey, Neja, pay attention. You have cancer." And then I went for an exam, and it was confirmed. So I caught, because of meditation, I caught the cancer somehow in early stages, because still I had the cancer in stage 3+, very aggressive form of ductal hormonal dependent cancer with BRCA genes. And all my female ancestors already passed away for cancer. So it was really a quick developing cancer.
Yeah. I want to speak to how much I love your responses about symptoms, because typically somebody will describe physical symptoms, and you described, I don't want to say mental symptoms, but like things that affect our mental health. And that it goes to show, like I tell people all the time, health is not just what you eat and how you move. It is what is going on up here, and like, how are your stress levels? How are you sleeping? Because at some point, if you're not taking care of that piece of you, it will move into your physical being and your physical body. And it can show up as things like cancer, autoimmune diseases, hormonal imbalances. And you're like, I love that those are the symptoms that you spoke of rather than the physical. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, because there were no physical signs. Yeah, except maybe tiredness. That was all. But I convinced myself that this is because I work quite a lot. And I really love, I'm passionate of everything what I'm working. So I said, okay, in January, I have at home one special device, and I made a checkup of my meridians, of my energy channels in my body, and they were all harmonized, but the energy was very low. And I said, okay, this is because I work a lot, and I don't have too much time, for relaxation. I should do much more relaxation. And I went for 3 weeks to India to really relax, to take care of myself. But when I came back, that was in March, mid-March, that I got this voice. Now, pay attention. Pay attention. Yeah. There is something going on.
So then when you were officially diagnosed, what made you decide to go the alternative path to medicine? Is it because you were already, like, that was already your job? Or did you consider medical, did you consider, I'm blanking on the word, not modern medicine, just
allopathic medicine approach.
Thank you. Yeah.
This was not an option for me. That was not an option for me. Yes, I accepted that they surgically removed centers. I have I had two centers. So one was about 2 centimeters and another one was about 1 centimeter, and I had lesion. So I allowed them to remove this. But then they prescribed me with 10 cycles of 3 days chemotherapy, 35 radiations, and 5 years of hormonal therapy. And I said, no. I'm describing this entire process in my new book that is coming out. From tumor to humor. And I explained to them, all my female ancestors passed away for cancer. And it was proven 100% that this doesn't work for us. So there is no option for me to go the same path because it's not working. It's not working on us. I didn't know whether I will survive or not because they said that this probability of me surviving without a medical intervention was pretty low. But I said, okay. It was one very, very interesting conversation between me and medical doctors that they said 5%. And I said, okay, if you go and buy a lottery ticket, you have 0.0000000000001% chance to get the first prize. And here I have 5%. I already bought a ticket.
Yes.
I bought a ticket, and that's final. I bet on health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a funny side note, when you were saying 000, my son likes to type zeros into my phone and then text it so that my car will read it. And my car goes 0, 0, 0. So that made me think of that. But anyway, that's just like not even related to what we're talking about. But yeah, when you look at it in that perspective, like that's good chances.
Yeah, very good chance. Yeah, very good chance. Yeah.
So was there a point when you knew it was gone?
Yeah, I knew. So first diagnosis I received, I don't remember the date, was at the end of April or beginning of May 2013, but it was confirmed at the end of May 2013 with the precision what is inside. And in the beginning of November, I knew, so November 2013, I knew cancer was gone. Because, I have this ability to see also spirits. And in November 2013, this was at the beginning, I saw cancer, that this spirit was or still is afraid of me. So he went away. But, the process was very funny. First time as we encountered, we were both riding like on dragons, fighting with, I don't know how it is, this long stick for fighting. I don't know how it is called in English. No, it's not a sword. It's this long one, The sword is for metal. This one was this wooden stick, long one.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how it is in English, this word. So we fought, tuck, 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 tuck. No, not like this, but with this stick is like trying to hit somebody, and actually he hit me. And I fall down from my dragon, and I looked at him and I said to him, you picked the wrong one. And then, of course, I was working a lot on me, on physical, on spiritual, on mental, on emotional level, on energy level, on all levels. And by the end of August, I have decided that I don't want to fight anymore with this, the cancer, with this energy, with this spirit, with this being of cancer. And I wanted to approach this entity with love. And from this point on, when I decided to approach this entity with love, everything started to shift. And when we met in November, again in meditation, he was, armed everywhere, with his swords and sticks and everything, protection, shields and everything. And I was there with nothing, just smiling, and I started to run around his feet, and he wanted to hit me and to catch me, and I jumped on his tail and caught on his neck hair, and I was jumping, he was spitting his poison on me, and I was just, removing, jumping on another side, and then each time as he spiked this poison trying to hit me, and he hit himself, it was painful. And then I said, yeah, you see, this is how people are hurt when you are doing this. And after he hit himself so many times, he just quit and he ran away. And that was the point I knew I'm liberated. Although I was still, for 1 year and a half, I was in a process of recovering my body from the encounter with this spirit, this entity.
Yeah, that's a piece that people don't talk about or realize that they're still healing after the thing is gone,
Exactly.
Whether it's cancer, whether it's a toxic relationship, whether it's, whatever the thing is, when you finally get to this point where it's gone, there's still the aftermath. And that's a lot of people get stuck in that aftermath thinking it's gone. What's wrong with me still? And there's nothing wrong with you. You just have some healing to do. So yeah, I'm glad.
Regeneration, rehabilitation. It's like after a broken, for example, leg. Yes, your leg is healed in. You take down all the bandages in, let's say, 6 weeks, but your leg needs healing even afterwards. So it's the same here.
Yeah. And so now it's been 12 years?
Yeah, now it's 12 years, yeah.
That's a great 5%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we talked about like natural healing, but I'm curious, what what does that look like for you? What did that look like for you? Because it can look different for everybody, right? But for you in particular, what did the natural healing process look like?
For me, actually, each person, each human being actually consists of 5 levels. This is physical level, emotional level, mind, psychological level, energy level, and spiritual level. So in each healing, it's very important to include all 5 levels to be really terminally healthy. So entirely healthy. If you heal with a diet, only this is just the body. So here are still mind, emotions, way of thinking, energy level that you have, so what you surround yourself with, and what you are doing, and spiritual level. So are you connected with your infinite source of energy, infinite source, or your origin of your spirit? So, because if we are cut off this origin, then we are just sleeping, walking human beings. And for me, healing consists of all 5 levels. So on physical level, what I did was quite a lot of detoxification processes and a lot of stimulation of the lymph, a recalibration of nervous system, release captured energies from fascia, so from connective tissues. Then on mental and emotional level, I did quite a lot of mindfulness techniques, studying or rethinking what patterns actually were causing the state that I was in. I did a lot of meditation on that level, because on meditation, a person gets, not the person, but mind gets quiet. So it's like a lake, and on the lake, you can see, you can perceive what is going on around. I studied, I didn't start to study neuro-linguistic programming at that time, but already before I just started to use it, or non-violent communication. This was really a source of great wisdom, how I'm talking to myself. And then on energy level, I did a lot of vitalis exercises that I'm teaching to others. I did a lot of different energy techniques that liberated, captured energies, not just from my body, but also from my aura, and liberated all objects from my aura that were taking energy, not just objects, also pieces of other people's souls from my body. And then on spiritual level, I did practice a lot of I said meditation, yoga, also approaches with power plants, so that I really entered into spiritual level to get information why I got the illness. So all this together gave me liberation.
That why is a huge piece.
Yeah.
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 Because so often we just look at the symptoms and we try to fix the symptoms, but we don't try to figure out the why behind the symptoms. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you so much for sharing all of that and just, letting people know that there's not only just one answer when something comes about in their lives, in their bodies, in their minds, in their souls. I do have one more question for you, and I ask everyone at the end of every episode, and I'm going to ask it a little bit differently than you saw in the email, and that is, if everybody in the entire world stopped what they were doing and looked at you and said, please give me some advice, what would you say?
First, I will start with a quote. I hope that this quote is also in English, but laughter is half of health. At least here in Slovenia, we have this quote, laughter is half of health, or half of healing. Do you have something like this in English?
Yeah. We say laughter's the best medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if people start just to practice laugh more, then half of things, difficulties, problems will disappear. My shamanic teacher said to me once, he was teaching me one specific technique, and he said, whatever problem you have, just put everything in the middle of the room, and then come with how is this called in English, that when you ride the horse, you use for the horse?
Oh, the whip?
The whip, yeah. And then use the whip and just whip with this around the problems, and they will start to jump around, and suddenly they will jump away. And you just laugh because you just whip with this around, and they cannot exist anymore. So a lot of laughter will help you to resolve many, many things in your life.
Love it. Beautiful beasts, Dr. Neja Zupan signing off. Until next time.